And we'll welcome you to Inside the Sooner. I'm the Assistant Commissioner of the SAC, Jim Powers, and it's been a crazy, great men's basketball season. And by the way, all of our Inside the Sooners are brought to you by Tinker Federal Credit Union. And it's coming down to the last games of the regular season, but we do know one thing. Nelson University will be the top seed on the men's side. Their head coach, Delton Dill, joined us. And Delton, I know this is something you guys been working through and working on and wanting all year long. Congratulations on claiming the regular season championship and the top seed in the upcoming tournament.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, it's you try to not take these moments for granted. It's so hard to do. I mean, anybody that's ever won a conference before, it is just so hard, and there's not a lot of years where you're in even in the position to have a chance. So, super proud of our guys for finding a way to get it done. The coolest thing to me was that our seniors, are the ones that kind of, played their best and did big things and hit big shots and, did all these things that were just phenomenal to kind of push us through here towards the end. And so you love seeing it from them and just for them. And yeah, I'm proud of them. The conference is awesome. A lot of great teams. I think we've had a lot of fortune and some, you always need a little bit of that and throughout the midst of a conference season, but you can see by the records how the strength of the league as a whole. I mean, it's just every night is just a grind. So to have survived it and be the last, the team standing at the end, very proud and not going to take it for granted for sure.
Saturday's game, obviously, a lot of eyeballs on the game. You guys and John Brown, it was a heavyweight
Great game.
knockdown, drag out, great, phenomenal game. But the shot that sticks out to my mind are the brothers
No
that
doubt.
that hook up.
DJ that.
CJ with the
Yep.
pass to the corner three to
Yeah.
really solidify things. Just talk about
Sure.
those guys. And,
Yeah.
CJ obviously, but boy,
Sure.
his brother has really come
No,
up to
Al.
another level this year.
Yeah. And the thing with Al is, Al came in as a walk-on 5 years ago. So, he had the extra year, but came in as a walk-on and right away just earned immediate playing time because it's just energy and he's a phenomenal person, scholar athlete, one of the highest GPA kids we've ever had long term, all of this stuff. But beyond that, it's just he played super hard, kept his nose down, and just through the years, it's been cool seeing it. It's a funny story is last year or the year, we were sitting there and we had him and CJ and Noah bowling, and they're all real small. And I'm like, I'll never play them together. It's too little. And then I ended up playing them. We just ended up doing it. And, sometimes you just can't keep people off the floor. And he's just one of those kids with his character and with how hard he plays and unselfish he is. Just man, he is just a life giver. So to see him who, he shot the ball really well last year, and then this year he hasn't shot it as good, and it's been a little bit, bothering him a little bit, but we know who he is, and to have him, it's not just that one, he had another one right before that that was really big too. So he had two
Yeah.
big threes. And then, CJ's just, I thought that was a really cool moment with CJ. He's had CJ's a great player, one of the better players in the country. And but in these moments, in a big time moment, you love to see it as a senior for him to step up and do what it is that he was supposed to do, make a great play. And I thought the second half he was in complete control of the second half, so it wasn't even just scoring. I mean, he opened the second half just making assist after assist to Jordan Jenkins early in the game, and then late finding Al and a couple of those things, and then throwing Justin Collins in there too, who just had a phenomenal senior game. And those guys just really stepped up and they were just spectacular. So it was a very tough game. And John Brown's a great team. And, we were just, talking about it. They were playing for first. And, now it's like who even knows where anybody's going to be because everybody's so good in our league. So great, great team, great shooting, difficult to guard, and very fortunate to get out of there for sure.
We talk about CJ and Al and that, but this is a senior group, and me and you had the opportunity to chat during the preseason, and you talked about how important the senior group was going to be. Obviously, the last couple of years not ending the way you guys wanted it to.
Sure.
How has this whole thing in this senior group just basically said, we're not letting what's happened in the past
Sure.
happen this year?
Well, that's the thing. That's what I'm talking about. So we see, with this year they're just the brotherhood and the togetherness and the attention to detail and the competitive spirit in a positive way. And just they love to play. This group loves to play. They like to play the game. So it's like you don't have to beg them, which is why I think we've been consistent. So even the games we've lost have all been close and down to because our guys like to play. They want to show up and play the game. And so to see them, overcome it here at the end, and I think that's been, that was a growth moment for us last year. So we wouldn't be in this position probably if what happened last year didn't happen. So I think us, having the opportunity to have had, some times where we didn't necessarily show up when we needed to, and then be able to have that moment right here again and be able to, rise to the occasion. That's why you love to see it from those guys that have been here that went through the fire before. And that's why, I was getting a little bit emotional at the end of the day because I love those guys and it's not about me. I mean, that's cool that I won and all that stuff, but it's really, man, to see those guys do that. And if you just the joy and the almost like release that it just
Yeah.
was on them has just been amazing. And so, fun times. We still got more games to play. So, we're trying, including today. So we're still trying to, get into it. But, I'm just really proud of those guys and what they've done to this point.
Coach, and we talk about the kids, but I'm going to talk about you for a second because you did something that not a lot of coaches do, and I'm not going to say that when you win 300 games, that means you've been around for a while and you're old. You're not old, number one, but you've been around the block. But with this group, how special was it to get 300
Yeah.
with this group of guys, especially in the pressure cooker? Because at the middle of the season, nobody knew where this whole thing was going to shake out. That's how top heavy the league was. We'll get to that here in a second.
Mhm.
But for you personally, how cool was it to win number 300 earlier this year with this group of guys?
Sure, yeah, special, very special. And I don't know how many times I can say this, and I've said this a few times, but man, this is just a really unique group. Just the connectivity, the character, the consistency with who they are daily. Very unselfish team. If you look at us, we're doing conference award stuff now, and I'm looking at us, and it's like we just don't have incredible stats across the board because I mean, we're averaging almost 18 assists a game, but only have two guys that average even double digits, and one of them's kind of high, the other one's okay, and then the rest of them are like 9, 8, 7, 6. I mean, all right there because honestly, it's just whoever's, whatever it's required that day. We have group of guys that will guard. We have a group of guys that can really move the ball. We have all these different pieces and these combinations that we can solve some problems with. So to do it with those guys who have been so selfless and putting it to the side, and then have an individual accomplishment for myself happen with this group is just it's really special because it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like it's I don't first of all the Lord leads me in everything that I do, and I try to just steward this thing that he's given me to watch over these kids. But to be able to do it with this group has been extra special. And I've been, like you said, I may not be old. I probably feel old, but I may not be super old. I'm not super old in the coaching world, but I got a really early start with 4.5 years of high school before I even got to college. So a long time been coaching. And winning 300 games is really just it's a testament to having great players. It's a testament to having incredible assistant coaches. I've been so blessed in my life to have a lot of great help, that people that I'm just so genuinely close with for the rest of my life. And then, be able to just sustain a little bit of consistency over the years. And, yeah, it's special. Don't take it for granted again.
How special is this for the Nelson community? Obviously, last year you guys made the postseason, but obviously a number one seed, a regular season championship. It's got to be a really, really terrific time to be down at Nelson and be a part of this.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can, anytime you can cut down a net or hang a banner up or do any, I mean, that it doesn't happen. It's rare. So if you can do it, it's special. And so regardless of what happens, honestly, I've always been in my career a little bit to the point where when you get to the postseason play, I'm like, okay, well, we did what we did. We took we did the studying, we took it, and now it's time to take the test. And from this point forward, honestly, it's kind of to me, it's kind of bonus. And this is a weird way to look at it, I think, but I've always been like the postseason is kind of bonus for me. I don't feel like I'm going to be crazy disappointed if something doesn't go right. It's like, okay, we got ourselves in a great position. Let's just go see what happens. And I think the teams that are the most free at this point of the year, the teams that are like really sure of themselves and playing hard and really determined, those are the ones that usually tend to last. So, yeah, we're super excited about what we've done, but we're also really looking forward to what we have ahead of us because we got some, obviously we got a bid for the national tournament as well. So being able to play these two, we got two big tournaments coming up, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be difficult basketball, but we're going to have a good time doing it.
Yeah, in the conference tournament, and once again, I, there's not going to be an easy out for anybody. I
No.
mean, when you
No.
look at just the grouping and the top. This is going to be a tournament to where anybody can take out anybody on any night. It's not going to be easy, and this is what makes tournament time fun because of just
Absolutely.
how crazy the regular season has been. And I think this may be the deepest tournament in the Sooner Athletic Conference that we've had in an awfully long time. Normally, you'll see the top two, top
I
three
agree.
kind of separate a little bit. We got six that can,
Yeah.
that are right within 2, 3 games of each other. That's
Sure.
crazy.
And if you look at, it's not just them either. If you want to go down to
Yeah.
7 and 8, I mean, there's not gonna, nobody's gonna be sleeping easy playing any of these teams that make it, and definitely the deepest I can remember our league being in a long time. It's like we've always had top heavy teams and very good teams, and it's a great conference in history. But yeah, this is one that can honestly go any way, and honestly, being at home at places is gonna help because there's some teams that are really strong at home. But to be honest with you, when you're playing for your well-being and to continue your season, you're going to get the very best from everybody. So there's a lot that goes into every one of these games, and it could go anyway. You're right.
I was talking to Coach Vincent from Langston a little bit
Yeah.
ago as we were talking about the women's side of things, and he said, he's a Northeast guy. And he,
Mhm.
he mentioned the women's side like the Big
Mhm.
East. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? Yeah, the
Yeah.
men's side is just as crazy good
Sure.
as those monster years in the Big East, back when me and you were running
100%.
around the court playing and our coaching early coaching years.
Yeah, 100%. And if you look, I mean, historically, that's one thing that I like to, brag on our league, but historically, if you look, the Sooner is NAI power conference, point blank period.
Yes.
It is. And in basketball, and if you look at the number of champions we've had and the different number of champions from teams that used to be here who aren't here or teams that came in or all this, you look at our coaches in this league that we have right now. Tons of our coaches have already done a lot of things. The programs here have done a lot of things. We have championships from multiple places and all these deep runs. And so when you look at our league, I think, little bit when the numbers started coming out with the RPIs and stuff, it kind of shaped a narrative that is computer based versus reality based. It doesn't mean that any league isn't good or anything. All those teams are great too, but I'm just saying our league, it's a historically great league, and we've had teams with a lot of success, including last year, a team playing in the national championship game. We were in the Final Four just 3 or 4 years ago. I mean, we've got these things happening constantly. So when you look at it and you think, man, how many of these teams will make the tournament or things like that? It should be a lot of us. And because we're all going to go in there, and I promise you, regardless of what you think, you don't want to see a Sooner team, come across the play. So we're battle tested, played a lot of great players, great coaching, all those things. So, this is going to be a crazy tournament. I think there's a lot of people fighting for their lives to, as somebody that sees some of the behind the scenes stuff, there's some teams that, are going to be playing to get themselves to be able to play more games. And so you're going to get some great effort from a lot of people for sure.
I would love to be a fly on the wall in that committee room when the selections are being put up. That I mean, and you're right, and you've heard me say it on many times. I think our basketball is as good as anybody in the conference NAIA wise, and I think we proved it this year, Coach. And with you guys leading the way, and I know it's a busy time for you, getting ready to get prepped and all that stuff. But thanks so much for the time,
Of course.
and congratulations.
Thank you
Well
so much.
deserved regular season title and the number one seed, and I hope to see you in Langston over the weekend as we get ready for the semifinals and the finals. Good luck on Thursday night.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you for everything you're doing for us and all this stuff. Thanks for this, man. It's just awesome. And yeah, I hope we see you too. We'll see. Got a lot of good basketball, tough basketball left to play, but we're going to try to make it as far as we can.
Absolutely. Thanks, my friend. We'll see you this weekend, hopefully. Delton Dill, the head coach in Nelson, joins us as they are the Sooner Athletic Conference 2025 regular season champions on the men's basketball side, automatic berth into the NAIA, and the number one seed in our upcoming tournament. That will start off on Thursday night at 4 sites around the Midwest. And then all the winners will make their way to Langston for some great semifinal and championship basketball on Monday, Tuesday next week. You'll be able to follow along with all the information, everything that you need on our website, SoonerAthletic.org. We'll have everything updated and posted throughout the week. Thanks so much for tuning in to Inside the Sooner, powered by Tinker Federal Credit Union.